Yo, what is up? It is your boy Zether with part 2 to What If Naruto Would Half Hot, Half Cold. On the last part, we pretty much had left off with Naruto pretty much being raised by the third, a friendship with Sasuke and Naruto being established, with them both being kinda brothers slash best friends, I guess you could say, and with Ino actually being on Team 7 with Naruto and Sasuke. And we had also pretty much left off with Naruto and Ino going to get a bite of ramen and getting to know each other a little better. With, Naruto pretty much going home, and we're going to go ahead and jump right back into it, because other than that, there's really not much else to cover. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the story. So, where we had last left off, Naruto had pretty much gone home, except this time when Naruto actually ends up going home, he decides that, he's going to eat a light breakfast, because whatever. Kakashi said that he's going to throw up, but he decides that it'd be better for him to eat a little bit than to not eat at all, because it'll probably affect his performance. Seeing that this Naruto isn't exactly stupid, but he's not smart, but he's not stupid either. So Naruto would proceed to, eat something real small, as, he would then report over there with like a little thing of water with him. As, Naruto would just proceed to sit there with Sasuke and Ino, as they're all just sitting there waiting for Kakashi, as Naruto would actually ask them if they actually want to go do something while they wait. As Sasuke, Ino, and Naruto would proceed to be like, "What are you going to do, Naruto?" As Naruto would look at them both and just say, we could just go over to that tree over there and just pass out, honestly. Kakashi Sensei is probably not going to get over here for a while. As Sasuke and Ino would actually look at Naruto and just be like, yeah, why not? As they would all three basically just go over and lay down by a tree, and I'll pretty much pass out for the next hour or so. As Kakashi would then arrive and say, sorry, as he would just see them all passed out, like, as Kakashi's like, hey, wake up, wake up. As Naruto would be like, what the hell? As he would then see Kakashi and blast ice at Kakashi. As Kakashi would jump back and be like, what the heck? As Naruto would say, sorry. As he's like, you don't wake me up like that. As Kakashi's just like, what the hell? Wow, that's interesting. I guess he has ice release. As Naruto would then proceed to be like, well, Kakashi, oh yeah. What are we doing again? As Kakashi would then look at them, all three of them basically say that he's going to give them about 2 minutes to wake up. As he would then proceed to tell them all that after that, they're going to be doing some bell tests, explaining what comes with the bell test and how it's going to work. How all three of them have to try to get these 2 bells on his waist, and that whoever fails will get sent back to the academy. This is when Naruto would be like, so you mean to tell me that you're going to make us be a 3-man squad? You mean to tell me that out of all shinobi history, you're really going to send one of us back and ruin the rest of the team? As Kakashi would look at Naruto and say, yeah? As Naruto would then walk in front of him and be like, As he would then look towards Sasuke and Ino and basically tell them that this is most likely going to be a team exercise, so all 3 of them need to cooperate if they're going to have any hope to take these bells away. As Naruto would crack his neck and knuckles going, as, he would proceed to just crack that stuff. As Naruto would then proceed to look at Sasuke and say, you ready, Sasuke? As Sasuke would look towards Naruto and crack his fingers as he says, you know it, Naruto. And this is when Sasuke and Naruto would then proceed to look at each other as they would say, Ino, your role is basically to act as backup and throw shuriken and stay on the far side, as you're going to be doing long range attacks. As she would say, right. As Naruto would say, go ahead and create 2 shadow clones as well. As Ino would create 2 shadow clones to just be on guard, as he would tell her to go off somewhere and create another one. As Ino would do just that, hiding in the bushes and having another shadow clone rush in as the real Ino. Quote unquote, the real Ino. As Naruto would then look towards Sasuke and look at Kakashi, as Kakashi would say, 3, 2, 1, go. This is when Kakashi would whip out his book and begin to read, as Naruto would smirk and say, I guess he's a little overconfident. As he would look towards Sasuke and say, take that one down. I'm gonna go find the real one. As Kakashi would just widen his eyes as he says, he knew I'm a shadow clone. As Naruto then rushed towards the real Kakashi that's hiding by a tree just sitting down reading. As Naruto would create an ice sword and would proceed to cut off the tree branch that Kakashi was on. As Kakashi would jump off and put his book away, as he would say, I guess these kids might be a little powerful after all. As Ino would actually rush in and try to help Sasuke take down the fake Kakashi, as Naruto would engage in a battle with Kakashi, as he would whip out a kunai and would begin a fight, and Naruto was wielding a really dope looking ice blade, as Naruto would begin a fight against Kakashi using nothing but melee weapons, as he would then shoot ice at the ground, making Kakashi's movements a little off, but then he would adjust himself to the ice, as Naruto would then keep rushing at Kakashi, as they would pretty much be fighting on equal footing, as Kakashi's actually getting a little thrown off by Naruto's, ice kick Genkai, or what he believes is an ice kick Genkai, but it's just a quirk. And Naruto would proceed to pretty much rush at Kakashi, as Kakashi's caught off guard, as Naruto would have actually created an ice clone behind him from the ice on the ground, as it would pop up, and it would then grab Kakashi's feet as it dragged him into the ground, as Kakashi would then smile, thinking that this was pretty amazing, as he would substitute out of there before Naruto could even slash his head off, as Kakashi would then jump behind Naruto, as he would then proceed to hit him in the back, right on the back, as Naruto would, spit out some spit in pain, as he would then say, that hurt, as Kakashi would then rush in and throw a kick at Naruto, sending him flying backwards, as Naruto would then say, as at this point, Sasuke would have actually finished taking down the Kakashi clone with Ino. He would have pretty much had a pretty easy time, using nothing but a fireball jutsu to pretty much catch him off guard, since he was thinking, what? Genin aren't supposed to be using that, but little did he know, Sasuke also had the Sharingan activated, and that would have caught him off guard even more, resulting in that clone being caught off guard and being taken out. So, this is when Sasuke would rush towards the real Kakashi, as Naruto and Sasuke would engage the Kakashi, as they'd pretty much throw some pretty good hands, with Sasuke keeping up with, Kakashi's movements, and Kakashi actually being forced into a corner, being forced by Naruto and Sasuke's finesse, as well as amazing teamwork, to activate his Sharingan, as he would lift up his headband, as Sasuke would be thrown off guard, saying, what the? How do you have the Sharingan? I need answers! As he would rush towards, Kakashi, as he would say Naruto, as Naruto would create another ice blade, as he would throw it towards Sasuke, as he would catch it, and Naruto would then create a fire blade and an ice blade, as he would then rush towards Kakashi, with Sasuke and Naruto doing dual wield attacks, as they would jump off of each other in the way that they fought against Momoshiki, I guess you could say, as they would pretty much catch Kakashi and put him on his back foot, as Kakashi would actually be thrown off guard and pretty much lose sight of the real Ino, as Ino would rush towards, or a shadow clone of Ino would rush towards Kakashi, as she would then jump in there and try to kick Kakashi, as he would grab her leg and throw her off guard, right into Sasuke, as Sasuke would grab her, keeping her from being hurt, as he would smile, as Kakashi would say, what? As this is when Ino would grab the bells from Kakashi, she would rip them away and throw them towards Naruto and Sasuke, as they would crash the bells and say, I guess we passed, didn't we? As Kakashi would then say, wow, you guys are pretty good. As in his mind, he would just be thinking, these guys are pretty damn strong. That one over there is damn near stronger than I was when I was his age. As he would then look towards Naruto and say, I mean, it's to be expected from the fourth son. As he would then look towards Naruto's direction, seeing him with his red and white hairs, he would then say, he looks just as much like Kushina as much as Minato. As he would then smile, think about his old sensei. As he would then tell them that their first mission is going to start tomorrow. As he would tell them to rest up and meet him back here tomorrow. As they would all pretty much go off on their own. As, the very next day, they would do the catching the cat mission, as Naruto would have actually noticed that Ino was actually having a bit of a hard time with this mission. As after the mission was done and they completed it and gotten their money, Naruto would then rush towards Ino and ask her before she leaves if she'd be willing to stay behind for some training, as he saw that she struggled with a pretty simple mission, as Sasuke would then appear with his hands in his pockets saying, yeah, and if you're gonna be like that, then we're definitely gonna need you to get up to where we are. And she would say, so what are we gonna do then? As Naruto and Sasuke would have mischievous smiles as they would look towards each other and say, we're about to put you through hell. As they would proceed for the next 2 weeks, as they would proceed for the next 2 weeks or so to hammer in taijutsu. Hammer in taijutsu. Some normal jutsus. I guess it's called ninjutsu? No. Just normal, performing jutsus that she could use. As they would have actually taught her what style? She has an affinity for water. Let's just say that she has an affinity for water. And Naruto during this time would have actually taught her the water bullet jutsu, or not taught, but she would have learned the water jutsu, the water bullet jutsu, as well as some other low tier water jutsus. And she would have also learned the water walking and tree walking. So this will definitely help her in the long run. It was at this point that Naruto would be in the office after they had finished one of their missions, as he would say, can we get a better mission? As Ino would actually be bored as well, as at this point she could actually handle those missions with ease, with Sasuke there just kind of chuckling, saying I was gonna ask the same thing, as Kakashi would just be sitting there. Zabuza would say, so do you think they're ready? Just kind of chuckling, as he would then say, as Kakashi would say, yes I do, as Hiruzen would just be like, I'm kidding, as he would say, yeah, you guys can have a mission, you guys can have a C rank mission, escorting this bridge builder to the land of waves. As the bridge builder would walk in and seeing Naruto, Ino, and Sasuke, as he actually doesn't end up questioning them, since they look like they can definitely handle themselves, since Sasuke never got made fun of, and Ino in this version, she would actually look like she can actually do something, since she was the one who was he was gonna say something about, but he decided to just stay quiet, seeing maybe she has something to offer. As in terms of Naruto, he would look towards him and he would look like the most physically strongest out of all of them, as Naruto would have a pretty lean and dope build, as Naruto would essentially have the outfit that Todoroki has. Sorry, I haven't cleared this up yet, but Naruto has the outfit that Todoroki has, basically not the one with the ice on his face, but the second outfit, and also not the one in the thumbnail. He's probably gonna get that on a later date. I don't know when, but sometime later. As he would then look at them and say, "All right." As Kakashi would then say, "Well, meet us by the entrance of the freaking village." As pretty much Tazuna would agree, and they would all pretty much meet up at that the very next day at the guys. I am so sorry that I keep stumbling and be like the sorry about that, guys. Here, let me breathe. Okay, I got it. As they would all proceed to pretty much meet at the bridge. Oh my god, at the gate, as they would pretty much begin to get on their way. As about 30 minutes into it, the two demon brothers would pretty much rush towards Kakashi, as Kakashi would pretty much let himself get taken care of just like he did in canon, except this time when they would try to actually rush towards the bridge builder Tazuna, Naruto would proceed to freeze them both in their place, as Sasuke couldn't even react, or even Ino, as Kakashi would be seeing that, as he would see how quickly he took them down, as Kakashi would then go up to them and pretty much start questioning them, as they would say, "We won't tell you nothing," as Kakashi would then say, "Very well," as he would then use his kunai to end them both as quickly and painlessly as possible. As they would continue to go on, as Kakashi has his suspicions about the mission, as Tazuna is pretty much sweating bullets at this point, knowing that it's gonna happen sooner or later, as they would all pretty much just be walking, and this is when Naruto would notice a white snow bunny. As Naruto would look at it and tell them all to be on guard, because that's not supposed to be here around this time of the year. As Kakashi would have actually seen how Naruto noticed that before even he did, as he would actually be quite surprised by Naruto's, his sensory skills. As Naruto and them would pretty much just continue to walk, as some mist would jump in and a giant blade would be thrown at them, because Kakashi would say, "Duck!" As everybody would proceed to dodge the attack, as Naruto would then grab the sword, as he would say, "This thing is pretty heavy." So he would drop it on the ground, saying, "How about I use this one?" As he would proceed to create an ice blade and toss it towards Sasuke, as Sasuke would grab it. And Naruto would then proceed to create two flame blades, as he would be ready, and he would ask Kakashi if he wants one. As Kakashi would just say, "I'm good." As they would all pretty much look towards Zabuza of the Hidden Mist Village, or the Hidden Rain or Mist, I don't know. Anyways, and this is when Kakashi would pretty much tell them all that they should stay back, as Kakashi's battle would pretty much go as it did in canon. And this is when Naruto would pretty much facepalm, as he would then say, "Sasuke." As Sasuke would look at Naruto and say, "Gotcha, Naruto." As they would pretty much rush towards Zabuza, who's holding the thing, as he would create two shadow clones to go rush towards Naruto and Sasuke. But they would both actually handle them pretty swiftly, with Naruto pretty much sending a huge wave of fire at them, burning one to crisp, as Sasuke would pretty much grab the other one and, slice him in half. As Zabuza would actually get caught off guard as Naruto and Sasuke would approach slowly. As Sasuke would have his 2 tomoe and his 1 tomoe on each eye. As Sasuke would proceed to look towards Zabuza as he then smiles and, chuckles as he would then rush towards Zabuza and throw a bunch of shuriken at him. As Zabuza would be forced to jump away and take his hand off of the water prison. As this is when Kakashi's battle with Zabuza would pretty much go to canon, as Naruto and Sasuke would look towards each other as they would ask Kakashi if he's really willing to finish the battle, considering he just lost. As Kakashi would say, "Do you guys really believe that much in me?" As Sasuke and Naruto would proceed to just be like, "Nah, we know you got it. Just don't get caught off guard this time." As Kakashi would then chuckle and say, "I guess I gotta show these kids what I'm really made of." As he would then proceed to wipe the floor with Zabuza just like he did in canon. And this is when Haku would appear doing her normal charade, as Naruto would know that she's faking it, but not really know whether or not he should engage in combat. As Naruto would just proceed to look at Kakashi as Kakashi just nods, and Naruto would not say nothing as Haku would take Zabuza away. And this is when Kakashi would pretty much pass out due from chakra exertion, as they would pretty much go to Tazuna's house. And for the next week or so, Naruto, Ino, and Sasuke would proceed to train together, as they would definitely get a little bit stronger, with Ino having the most improvements out of all of them. With Ino being pretty much as strong as, I guess we could say, Sasuke. She'd be as strong as Sasuke was when they pretty much left the village for the mission. That's how strong she would be at this point. And it's a pretty significant boost, but nothing close to Naruto or Sasuke, considering that they were way more powerful than the original canon versions. So that's essentially how that goes. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump on into a little bit of different territory, I guess you could say, as Kakashi would have actually woken up, and in this version of events, since Naruto was not exactly training for his stuff, he actually would never actually end up meeting Haku, meaning that later on, this is going to have a lot more of an effect on the series. In terms of when they head off to the bridge that certain day, and when Kakashi tries to teach them all water walking and stuff, he would actually not be able to teach them much, since they already know that. So instead, he would actually ask Ino if she actually wants to learn a couple of things from him, and she would be very willing to go train with Kakashi, as she would train with him for the next 2 days, as Naruto and Sasuke would finally be able to train together and get the most benefit out of their training. As on the day of, Tazuna arriving with Haku, Naruto would still actually end up passing out late, as Naruto would actually take down the goons of what's his name? The short guy that Zabuza's working for. Gato. He would pretty much go and take down Gato's men, as he would then rush towards, Haku and Zabuza's battle. And at this point, Sasuke would actually be engaging in a battle against Haku, except he would have a lot of an easier time, since Haku has an ice kick at Genkai, and he would actually be able to handle her a lot better. That is, up until she actually uses the mirror jutsu. As at that point, Sasuke would be forced to activate his 1 and 2 Tomoe Sharingan, as he would then actually proceed to get grazed by some of the needles, as Haku would actually be forced to take it up a notch, as she would actually start to overwhelm Sasuke. And it's at this point that Naruto would arrive, as he would throw some shuriken at Zabuza, who gets caught off guard. And this gives enough time for Kakashi to actually get an upper hand in the battle, causing Zabuza to get on the back foot, as he would then proceed to rush at Zabuza, as he would then say, "Where's Sasuke?" As Kakashi would point towards the ice mirrors, and Naruto would say, "I'm gonna go help Sasuke out," as Kakashi would say, "Go do that." As Naruto would run straight into the ice mirrors, as Naruto would pretty much create an ice dome within the ice mirrors, as he would then look towards, Haku's ice mirrors, as he would say that this is really interesting, as he would say that he's never actually thought of anything like that, as Naruto would actually get a really mischievous idea, as this is when Naruto would actually proceed to smile, as he would then think, maybe I can do this too. As when Haku jumps into one of the mirrors, Naruto would actually jump into one, as he would be trying and he would actually jump into it, but when he tries to get out, he's actually having a little bit of a hard time, as Haku would then rush towards the mirror trying to break it, as Naruto would break out of the mirror barely, as he would jump to another one. And this is when he would actually decide that he's not gonna do that anymore, since he could have died right there. If Haku wasn't holding back, she would have killed him right there. as it's at this point that she would proceed to actually use her full power, as she would proceed to blitz around Naruto and Sasuke, as Naruto and Sasuke would pretty much be on the back foot, as Haku would proceed to pretty much start wiping the floor with them. And this is when Sasuke would have the Senbon thrown at him, as Naruto would get the same rage boost that he did in the original canon, except this time when Naruto gets angry, it's not exactly as much as before, considering that this time Sasuke was able to dodge most of them, but he was definitely taken down after that. And Naruto, seeing what he would consider a brother get taken down like that, he would rage out as he would scream to the heavens and say, I'll kill you, as he would then rush towards Haku and break her mask, as this time he would have no remorse and sink his hand into her chest, or his chest, sorry, as he would then take her down, and Naruto would then look towards Zabuza, as Kakashi would actually sink his Chidori in there. And this is when Gato's men would arrive, as Naruto would then look towards them, as he would then say that he got a little bit of steam to let out, as Naruto would proceed to blitz all of them using his some ice kunais that he would create, as he would begin to butcher all of them, as all of Gato's men would fall into the ground, leaving a bloody pool to be on the ground everywhere, as some of the blood would drip into the lakes, as Gato would just be sitting there in terror, as Naruto would pick Gato up by one hand and freeze one of Gato's arms, giving him frostbite, as Naruto would say, "Does that hurt?" As he would say, "That's as much pain as you've caused these villagers." As he would then throw Gato in front of all the villagers, as all of the villagers would proceed to, do a lot of awful things to Gato. And after this, Naruto would have actually, told Gato that, he needs to know where his base is. As Naruto and Team 7 would actually rush towards Gato's base, as they take all of their money and save a little bit for themselves, as they would actually give the rest to the village, as, this is pretty much gonna make up for, the lack of ranking for the mission, as Naruto would have actually, or no, not Naruto, Ino would have actually been the one to suggest this, saying that maybe they can take a little bit of this for themselves. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. The villagers are gonna get most of it anyways. As Kakashi would say, "That's a splendid idea. Let's do it." As they would proceed to fill their pockets up with money, and they'd proceed to give the villagers a lot of cash, as the villagers would still name the bridge the Great Naruto Bridge. As this time, that's essentially how that would wrap up. And this is when they would proceed to head back to the village. But this is actually where I'm going to be ending this off. If you guys want a part 3 to the series, you guys are going to need to be smashing 300 likes again. But with that being said, it has been your boy Zether, and I am out.